for our Module 5. So this is entitled Market Structures and its Analysis. Okay, so before we start with our discussion, so let us have a short overview about the contents of this module. So this is about the market structure and its analysis. So the students will learn the basic concepts and market structures with the detailed discussions specifically about monopoly and oligopoly. So the different types of mergers and why business organizations enter into this kind of business combination will also be included. For our learning outcomes, so at the end of this module, the students are expected to, number one, demonstrate understanding of the various market forms or structures in general detail. Number two, identify the different barriers to entry. Third, compare and contrast monopoly and oligopoly market situations. And number four is to determine the various types of mergers and the reason to merge. For the content of this module, so we will be discussing about market structure, market analysis, analysis of monopoly and oligopoly market situation, and the types of merger. So to start with, let us discuss about the market structures. So when we say market, basically this term refers to a particular place where the goods and services are purchased and sold. However, in the field of economics, when we say market, this is considered to be a wide perspective. So, in this field, in economics, the term market would mean a particular place, but the whole area where the buyers and sellers of a product are spread. So, in this case, in economics, market doesn't always mean a place or a physical place where buyers and sellers go to sell and buy goods and services. So, it may be in a different form, maybe in a or in an electronic form or online platform. So, according to Professor R. Chapman, so the term market refers not necessarily to a place, but always to a commodity and the buyers and sellers who are in direct competition with one another. So, just like what we have mentioned earlier, regardless of the platform, may it be tangible or intangible, but the important thing is that the presence of buyers and sellers are there, and there is competition in terms of price, the quality of products, and others. Okay, so that's how Professor R. Chapman actually defined the term market. So, in the words of A. Como, economists understand that by the term market, so this is not any particular place in which things are bought and sold, but the whole of any region in which buyers and sellers are in such free intercourse with one another that the price of the same goods tends to, equally, to equality easily and quickly. So, Professor Kamo's definition is wider and appropriate in which all the features of the market are found. So, basically, if you could notice with the definitions of the different authors and economists, so this has a universal uh, meaning or a unified idea in which a market does not always refer to a particular or tangible place. Okay, the important thing that you have to consider there is that there is buyers and sellers of the goods and services. Okay, so this is very important. So, by the way, the goods and services have also different forms, not only of the goods which we consume. This can also be in the form of financial instruments, intangible um, assets, and equity or debt securities. Okay, so those are the things that you can see in the market. Okay, as well as currencies and derivatives. So these things, you will learn more of this in your financial management subjects. Okay, so that is for the introduction about the term market. So again, when we say market, this does not always mean a place, but the important thing is that there is a presence of the buyer and seller. Okay, so we go now to the characteristics of market. So how would you define, or what are the distinct characteristics that we can see in a market? Okay, so number one is this is an area, or it has an area. So in economics, as mentioned, or in relation to what we have mentioned earlier, so a market does not always mean a particular place, but the whole region where sellers and buyers of a product are spread. So there are other platforms or modes of communication and transport that have made the market area for a product very wide. So we are not only talking about going to a physical store, but you can now also be in the market while you are at home using online platforms. Okay, so that's how it works. So the second characteristic of a market is there is commodity. So in economics, a market is not related to a place, but actually to a particular product. So here, that's why we do not emphasize the place where the trade takes place. So we are more of the commodity or the product itself. So what do the sellers are offering, and what does the customers wants to buy? Okay, when they go and check the market. Okay, so this is one characteristic that is very important when talking about the market. Okay, again, because trading of goods or services, this is where it takes place. So this is the subject of the transaction. So the third are, of course, the buyers and sellers. So they are important participants in the market. So as mentioned also earlier, the presence of buyers and sellers is necessary. Of course, when there is no seller, there is there's no one who would offer something or anything. And if there is no buyer, so nobody would purchase what is being offered. So that's why these two participants are very important. Okay, so in the market. So in the modern age, the presence of buyers and sellers is not necessary in the market because they can do transactions of goods through letters, telephone, business representatives, internet, brokers, and other platforms where they can actually go and look for something that they could buy or something that the seller would offer. Okay, so the presence physically is not needed, but there should be someone who would act as a buyer or seller who would represent you in the market. Okay. Another thing is there is free competition. So there should be free competition among the buyers and sellers in the market. So this competition is in relation to the price determination of a product among the buyers and sellers. But of course, the trade here should be regulated also by the government or other agencies so that the interest of both the buyers and sellers should be protected. There is no one party that could take advantage of the other. Okay. So, however, we are enjoying free competition. So, here the sellers have the freedom to make or make a price offering of their products, and in other cases, probably if it's allowed, the buyers are also um, have already have this opportunity to bargain, okay, the price that they can offer for a particular product which they would want to purchase. Okay. Number five, of course, very important is the price because we are talking about the products or the goods and services. So there should be something that should be exchanged for that commodity. And normally, this is in the form of a financial terms. Maybe may it be in financial instrument or money itself or other uh, types of payments. But of course, the most common is in the form of currency or money. So here, the price of a product is the same in the market because of free competition among the buyers and sellers. Okay, so but in other cases or in most cases, there are differences. Okay, because of competition, and the sellers would want to uh, attract more customers. Okay, over their competitors in terms of price. So, on the basis of the elements that we have mentioned of a market, so its general definition may be as follows. This is actually how we summarize what we have mentioned from the definition down to the characteristics of a market. So, the market for a product refers to the whole region where buyers and sellers of that product are spread, and there is such free competition that one price for the product prevails in the entire region. But of course, because of some regulations and conditions that are beyond the control of both the sellers and buyers, so the prices might be different. Okay, and the offer also would depend upon the negotiation between the buyers and sellers, provided that they are bound with the regulations that is imposed by the authority. Okay, so this is for the introduction for market and its characteristics.